Welcome to UC Today with me, David Dungay. Today I'm joined by Joe Walsh, Director of Global Products Marketing at GoTo. Welcome to the show, Joe. How are you?
I'm great, David. Thanks very much for having me today. Looking forward to our chat over the next 10 minutes or so.
Fantastic. Well, there have been some pretty big changes over at GoTo. I'm really looking forward to getting into those. But before we do you want to give us a bit of an introduction to yourself and the business?
Yeah, I suppose just a bit of background on me first, David. I'm a director in the product marketing team at GoTo, formerly Log Me In, have been for the last 2.5 years, but I've been in the telecommunications industry for the last 15, 20 years or so. I've worked with brands like British Telecom, Vodafone, I've worked with Aircom in Ireland, and I've worked with a few different tech startups around the industry as well. Always in the kind of customer facing capabilities and communication capabilities within the telecoms industry. So came to Log Me In, GoTo, formerly Log Me In 2.5 years ago, and very much enjoying the challenge of bringing our new brand, our new mission to the market.
Fantastic. So, the big question, why did you rebrand the business? Why now?
Yeah, so look, I think if we look from an inward perspective, first of all, David, GoTo, formerly Log Me In. We've been Log Me In for 19 years since we were founded in 2003. We've always been in the space of remote work and flexible work, and it's been a space that we know really well. It's in our DNA. We live and breathe it every day as a business. But over the years, we've accumulated a household of brands. We 23 brands across our products and portfolio up until 2021, and that created some communication challenges for us. Created communication challenge when trying to articulate our value and our proposition of business to our nearly 1 million customers, but also all the other businesses out there as well, particularly at the moment that could really do with our products and our services. So primarily communication issue to make it a little bit easier for us to go about our business internally, but also to articulate that value and that proposition to our customers and prospects. And that's, from a business standpoint, one of the biggest drivers behind our rebrand today.
So, from a products and services point of view, what does this all mean?
Yeah, well, look, before we get to the products and the services, David, if we look at, I think they were the reasons why, as a business, we needed to rebrand right now. But if we look at the market and one of the reasons why we need to rebrand and why we need to be able to execute more clearly on our mission of flexible work software is that there's a flexible work revolution right now. We've seen, based off the last 2 years, that one of the biggest things we've taken away from the last 24 months is the appetite people have to work flexibly, to be able to work from home or work at the office. It's something that we see 7 out of 10 employees will now refuse a job that does not offer flexible work. And thankfully, businesses are responding, particularly in markets like the UK and in markets like the US. For the first time in 2022, over half the workforce, I think it's 55% in the US and 53% in the UK, will be offered flexible work as a permanent part of their working conditions for the first time ever. So that's a seismic shift in terms of the cultural approach to how we work. And businesses are beginning to grapple with this because flexible work has implications for the technology we can use because of less in-person meetings, we need to rely on technology more to fill the gaps. We also need to create a consistency of work experience both at the office and away from the office, because people shouldn't have to compromise. They shouldn't have to go, well, look, I won't be able to do that on Tuesday because I'm actually working from home. They should be able to do whatever they need to do to get their job done wherever they find themselves doing that job. And IT departments are having a few challenges with that. So from a market standpoint, that was the big reason behind our branding and our timing now, also with the communication challenges that we had as a business with that house of brands that we had prior to the rebrand. So that's why we rebranded to GoTo. We try to make IT easy for our customers with a big focus on SMB customers. We try and do it through unified products. I talked about those 23 brands that we had in 2021. In 2022, we've now one company with two brands. We have GoTo Resolve, which brings together all the greatness and goodness of our remote support products that we've built up over the years. So the Centrals, the Pros, the Rescues, whether you're looking for remote access, whether you're looking for remote support, whether it's remote endpoint management, whether it's some visual engagement with employees that are working in the field, or whether it's just managing all those engagements through conversational ticketing, we've brought that all together in GoTo Resolve on the remote support side of the house. Then you have our unified communication products. And this is all about connecting those workers, whether they're in the office, whether they're at home, whether they're in a hotel, or whether they find themselves on vacation somewhere and they're joining a meeting, and connecting them to each other and their customers, okay? Whether that's cloud phone systems that are available and accessible from anywhere on any device, meeting platforms for video and audio conferencing, whether it's webinar tools or virtual events, whether it's training platforms, or whether it's contact center capabilities to make sure you can really dial up your sales and your customer experience from any location for those frontline staff that want to work from anywhere too as well. So we've unified all our products into those two products, GoTo Resolve and GoTo Connect. So making it quite easy for SMBs just to procure and manage everything they need to connect and support those employees working out in the field or at the office.
Well, you mentioned SMBs there. I mean, let's talk about the SMBs.
Hmm.
What are you doing then? What are you solving in terms of those challenges around flexibility and cost?
Yeah, so I think, you know, for SMBs and for all companies and for IT teams, that they were the real kind of unsung heroes of remote work in the last 24 months. They stood up remote work environments, literally overnight with very little runway for people. And to be fair, they did it for what they thought and what we all thought at the time was a temporary moment in time, 6, 12 weeks maybe. No one would have envisioned that at that time, that 24 months later, we'd still be in a situation where economies are just coming out of the pandemic, that we're moving to a more permanent, flexible work, that lasting impact on the workforce would happen. So IT teams are beginning to go, right, okay, this is no longer temporary. This is going to be a permanent way of working for organization. How do we make sure we can help our employees be connected and help them be supported when they go about their work? And with that, it creates a couple of challenges. Complexity in terms of the volume of tools that people use right now. I think on average, there's like 2.6 UC vendors deployed across businesses. Like over half of all businesses have 3 or more vendors deployed. That creates challenges from a cost standpoint. And despite having too many tools, many times they don't have the right tools either. So people still using standard video conferencing platforms when they're actually hosting customer facing webinars or virtual events, and they're not using the right capabilities and functionality for that. People not having access to their corporate phone system when they're not at the office, and they're unable to do simple things like transfer calls or even make calls off their corporate phone number to customers as well. So there's a lot of simple use cases like that that people have to sacrifice when they're not in the office. So for those SMBs, it's about reducing the complexity, okay? Giving them everything they need for all those use cases through one product and one app. The second thing is making products available to them that maybe in the past haven't, right? So, virtual events tools can be expensive. Webinar tools in the past have been expensive. Contact center tools have been expensive. We've been packaging our products, our functions, and our features at a very attractive price for SMBs. And the way we do that is we build the essentials, everything that they need for an SMB to deliver exceptional customer experience, deliver exceptional sales experience, and to be as productive as they can be from all these different locations without the use cases that are normally reserved for more big business enterprise scenarios, because that's what can drive up cost and complexity in deployment. We've stripped that out to give SMBs everything essential that they need and allows us to package at the right price. And then it's giving them access to those platforms. Many SMBs still just using things like their standard phone system to engage with customers because they haven't been able to avail of more, automated customer engagement or the experience and self-service capabilities that come with more advanced contact centers. So creating that for them at a price point that they can afford, and also in a way that they can procure and manage with limited resources that they have at the moment. They're kind of the big things that we're bringing into the market for the SMBs, reducing complexity, reducing cost, and creating new opportunities for them that haven't been available in the past.
Wow, so it sounds like there's lots going on. Let's look ahead now. What are we likely to see from GoTo this year in terms of innovation and strategy as we go forwards?
Yeah, I think we've always been big on user experience and simplicity and ease of use, David. That's not going to change anytime soon. Expect to see continued improvements and continued focus on our user experience. Like our mantra today is all about enabling flexible work for all our customers and all the businesses out there that are beginning to provide flexible work to their workers on a permanent basis. Expect to see increased accessibility of our products, increased capabilities around our support tools, and expect to see just again increased ways of connecting and engaging with people from multiple locations across multiple devices, particularly around our mobile application experience as well. That's we've seen over 1,000% increase in the downloads of our mobile apps, and that really underscores the importance of working on the go for flexible workers. So expect to see a big focus there. I think as well how we bring our products and our message to market. We're investing heavily in our partner ecosystem. Partners are a great way for particularly small businesses to be able to tap into quite significant expertise in the market, to understand what solutions are out there, to understand what questions they should be asking about their own business and what's available for them to help improve. So we're really investing in our partner ecosystem too. And then again, it's all about that IT experience, that administration experience, because we know SMBs can be strapped a little bit when it comes to IT resources and IT budgets. So making sure our tools are as simple and as easy to manage as possible. And I think we'll see a lot of the benefits, particularly around our phone systems. We think we got the best administration tools on the market for those, making it a real easy, simple, intuitive experience for people to manage it. So that's where you're going to see a lot of from us in 2022 is really focusing on that user experience, making sure we're finding more ways to enable flexible work, building out that partner ecosystem, and making sure that that IT admin experience is as simple and as intuitive as it can be.
Fantastic. Well, as always, it's been great to talk to you, Joe. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks very much for having me, David. Appreciate it.
And thank you for watching. You've been watching me, David Dungay, on UC Today. If you like today's conversation, please give us a like and a share on social media. That's it from me. See you next time.